What up? I'm Ken Ray, and the voice of the people.
We're the hosts of the Open Mic Show. Follow us on Twitter at the Open Mic Show. Follow me on Twitter at DJMHTutter. Follow him on Twitter at KenRay329. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/the Open Mic Show. Talk to him.
All right. This show is basically dedicated to our lost ones. We titled this show Dealing with Life After Death. And I know this is a topic that a lot of people that deal with in their lifetime. Then there are some people that never had that. They never went through those type of things. But we giving it from our perspective to people that never. Well, the best way I can say it is that are going through this, that they're not alone, but we can all move on together. Basically, I can give you a story from what I went through in my lifetime. In 1992, my mother passed of pneumonia and lupus. That was something that was very hard to deal with. And when I initially found out about it, I was destroyed. That was my world. I was 11 years old at the time, a month before my 12th birthday. And what was funny about it that came to me, I thought I was the only one dealing with this. And my whole world was destroyed. And you know, when you have a death like that, you thinking you're the only one in this world going through it. And maybe the next day, I heard a song that played on the radio in '92. That actually it won many awards. It was Eric Clapton, "Tears from Heaven," and that song kind of gave me some type of inspiration to move on. That I can be strong enough to move on, because this song he did was in dedication to his son Connor, that died at 4 years old. And basically the base of the song, he's talking about, if you see me, would you know my name? Would you call my name if you see me in heaven? But at the last verse of each verse, he ends it with, because I know, he says that I know I don't belong here. Just to paraphrase it, I know I don't belong here in heaven. Basically, he's saying that as much as I would want to go to heaven to see you again, I don't belong here. I have a purpose here on this earth. And that's what we all have to realize when we go through times of death, that we all have a purpose. There's a reason that we're here. And hey, granted, my mother taught me everything. She instilled till this day, I still live by a lot of things unconsciously that she taught me, but I was able to move on. I mean, there's things that time do heal. I still think about it 21 years. I mean, for the first time a year ago, was the first time I visited her gravesite. I was afraid to do it for a long time, but I was able to build up the courage, actually, by a friend of mine. He pretty much encouraged me to do it, and I went and did it, and it really was, it kind of was closure. It was peace for me. And there was, I mean, this is difficult for me, but I was able to do it. But I'll defer to Mike, see what his point is on this.
Well, for me, 2004, I lost my little brother Frank. Frank was 19 at the time when he passed, and that changed my frame of thought on everything. Like, to know Frank was like 5'3", maybe 5'5", but Frank had the heart of a lion, right? And so what happened was, I was out, me and one of my best friends was out. We was at a memorial for another friend whose grandfather passed. And they had like a little repast, and we went, and you know, we was chilling. It was getting late. I had to work the next day, so I should have went home a little bit earlier, but you know, I didn't. And so I get a call around 12 o'clock, and it was from my house. And so I'm trying to see what's going on. And my little sister answered the phone and told me that come home, that Frank got shot in the leg. And I'm like, what? So we race home, get pulled over and everything. My friend doing like 100 miles per hour, but we get home and I see the ambulance pulling off. But you know, you see the flashing lights with no sound. I didn't realize that meant somebody was, you know, dead already. I just thought, you know. But anyway, they pulled the ambulance pulled off. We pulled up and I seen them putting tape around, you know, the scene or whatever. But it still didn't hit me that, you know, Frank was gone. My mama came downstairs. We rushed to the hospital. We get there and they put us in the little chapel room or whatever. And we sitting there and police come in like, you know, anything, did I know anything? Was he into it with anybody? I'm like, nah, you know, Frank was a good kid. I mean, teenager, but you know, nothing crazy like that. And so maybe 2 minutes later, the doctor came in and told us that Frank passed. And it was like, it was like a train wreck. Like the room just got still. Only thing I could hear is my mama screaming and like it, I don't know how to explain it, just like a train wreck or something. So, you know, we had to tell everybody and everybody came up there or whatever. But how it affected me, like on the previous show, I told y'all like I gotta be the strength of my family. So at that time, like it was real, I felt it was real crucial for me to be strong because my mama needed me. We never experienced, she lost her mom, we lost my grandma as well, but we never experienced such close of a loss as my brother. This is somebody I dealt with all day, every day that I helped practically raise. And to lose him was like, it's ain't even words to explain. Like I said, it was 9 years ago and I still, you know, feel it every day. But what it did, it put me into a state of depression after the funeral, after the cars, after all that stopped. It's like, now you gotta deal with it every day by yourself. Nobody really calls you no more to check on you. It's just, you know, your immediate family who you all don't even know how to be there for each other. So I went through a state of depression. I was working a bad job at the time. It was just like a lot going on. And like for him, his song was Eric Clapton. I heard Yolanda Adams, "The Battle Is Not Yours," and it just like settled me. Like I was able to, you know, accept it better because I blame God, I blame myself, I blame everybody for, you know, the loss of my brother. Like I keep saying that, but words don't even explain like what Frank meant to our family. Like Frank, I'm the big brother, and you know, I try to be the strong one, but Frank gave everybody courage, even me. You know, like sometimes when, you know, you want to do something and be like, man, I might not be able to do that, and Frank like, what? You know, you might, come on, you can do whatever. And like Frank was the heart. Like, you know, Mike might be the brain, but Frank the heart. Frank was a little kid, 9 years old, playing full court basketball with grown men and holding his own. Like he was just a small giant that, man, words can't, like I say, words can't express the loss that I have for Frank. He would have been 29 this year, and it's been tough. It's been a struggle trying to move on every day without him. I mean, I've been successful, a little bit more successful since he passed, so I feel like that's my angel. Like he look over me and make sure even when I don't want to do it no more, I still hear his voice saying, you can do whatever you want to do. And so that gave me the drive, you know, to keep going and being what I want to be. But it's tough. It definitely is tough.
Yeah, to expand on that, with Frank, I can remember maybe a week before he died, it was New Year's, and he rode with me. He happened to ride with me today to the New Year's party that we had that year. And it was just me and him talking, and he was just saying to us, our little crew that we hung out, he said, I really respect you guys. when I get older, I want to be just like you guys. And that really just touched me, because Frank was probably, out of all the young guys, I really seen a lot in him, and it was a pleasure knowing him, and he would truly be missed. He's one of my friends for life, no matter whatever afterlife he's in. I really love that brother. But to expand on my experiences with death, because I lost my father in December of '98, and I know a lot of people that went through those times during the holidays. That is rough, because my uncle died at around that same time too, in 2008, 10 years later, which was another father figure of mine, and it's tough when you're dealing with that during those times. And it's just what's crazy about it, when my father passed, and even when my mother passed, as a male, we feel we have to be the tough ones. We need to be the strength, and it's not okay to cry. And I did not show no tears during those times, because I thought that, okay, I gotta be macho, I gotta be tough. But I mean, that's gonna hurt you in the long run, which it did. It hurt me where I didn't show no emotion. I had to, because you let it out in other areas. You let it out on the wrong people, on people that don't deserve to get your anger out on them. And I did that for years, and you learn, you live, you learn, you move on. You have to say, I have to let this out. And those experiences, it just only made me stronger. And there's a lot of people that say, I can't believe that, I can't see that, losing this person in my family. I can't even imagine that I might die and I might kill myself. I look at them like, you fucking crazy. I got a reason to live. So, I mean, no matter who dies, I mean, doesn't mean, not to sound insensitive, doesn't mean I gotta fall off my wagon of why I'm living. I have a purpose on this earth, and I'm going to fulfill my purpose, no matter who's gone. But, I mean, all I have to say, I have to dedicate this to my lost ones, and I truly miss them, I truly love them, and hopefully we meet again.
1998, September 98, I lost my grandma. And then August of '99, I lost my aunt, my oldest aunt. And those were trying times for my family. Like, my grandma was our glue. Like she, made sure the family was together for each holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, even just, Sunday dinner at grandma's house. Like, we always knew, if we ain't have nothing, if we ain't have nowhere to go, we could always go to grandma's house, for summertime or whatever. And losing my grandma, like, that was one of those moments, like he said, where, men, we want to be tough and macho and not show nobody, but to see my whole family break down, from my mama to my cousins, nieces, nephews, everybody crying, like, I couldn't hold it in, and I actually shed tears over it. And it was like, man, my grandma. Then I lost my aunt a year later. We buried her, and it's just been, it was just a trying time where it builds your character. It allows you to, figure out who you gonna be and what you gonna do, because death gives you a sense of purpose now. You got to figure out, are you just living, or are you living for, to be what you intended to be on this earth to be? You know what I mean? Like, when I lost my loved ones like that, it made me say, don't take no day for granted. Don't hold grudges with people, because you might wake up tomorrow and you hear they dead, and you mad because, you've been holding this on to something that was so pointless or so senseless to even have an attitude with, and you can't even tell your sister or brother or whatever you love them no more.
I mean, and to expand on that, I had another close call in my life just recently with my wife. I'm married to my wife. Me and my wife got married in May of 2012. And 6 months later, I see my wife in the hospital. She's laying there, and there's nothing that I can do. I cannot do nothing. And pretty much they had her in this sleep state for a little over a week, where she had tubes inside her, IVs all hooked up to her, and the only thing that's keeping her alive, breathing, is this life support machine. And people ask, like, man, why are you so strong? I could honestly say that those situations with my parents and my uncle kind of built me for that. But I mean, no matter how many times you put in that situation, it is a scary time. I mean, with a loved one. And that time, my mind was really messed up, but I had to keep composure for the people around me, and I had to show strength for her and believe that she was going to get through this time, and we were going to be together, we were going to have a kid together. Those things, I had to really believe that, and I really think that, you know, it helped everybody, help her feel strong enough that she can get through that situation. So, I mean, even when you do have family members that's gravely ill, you gotta believe that they're gonna be okay and they're gonna pull through it. But for the most part, you know, that's what I have to add on that one.
So I know a lot of people ask the question now, like, when somebody passed, where do we go from here? What do I do now? And my answer to that is, you just take it one day at a time. You don't try to, you know, look for a reason on why it happened. Don't overthink it. It's part of life. We all got one day we all die, whether you know you want to or not. But it's gonna be a day that somebody gotta bury you, and so just take every day, live every day like it's your last. Don't take nothing for granted. Like I was saying, don't hold grudges with people. You never know, you know, what tomorrow may bring. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your, you know, siblings, whoever you love them, man, because we ain't promised.
Yeah, and don't live, even though we live every day like it's our last, don't live on that YOLO bullshit that y'all hear out here. YOLO, whatever. Because you don't do stupid shit.
Exactly.
Talking about how you only live once. Okay, yeah, right. You know, but you gotta make you only live once count.
Exactly.
And hopefully you enjoyed what we had to commentate on today. Look for our next show that's coming up, and hope you like this one.
I'm the pride of the East Side DJ MH Tutter.
And I'm the inner voice of the people, Ken Ray.
Salute.
Thanks.